The only people that I know who aren't are people who are unhappy in life and a big disappointment to them.
At the height of his success, Dan Blocker had what most actors spend a lifetime chasing, a role that felt permanent, respect from his peers, and a future that seemed secure. That is why the end of his story still feels so unsettling. There was no long warning, no dramatic buildup, just the quiet belief that everything would be fine, until suddenly it was not. What followed was a loss so sudden that it left behind a silence that only grew louder with time, turning Dan Blocker into one of Hollywood's quietest tragedies. Long before he became Hos Cartwright, Dan Blocker was already larger than life. Born in 1928 in Texas, he entered the world weighing an astonishing 14 pounds, a record that still stands in his county. Raised during the Great Depression, he learned hard work early, helping his family survive by doing whatever needed to be done. His size made him stand out, but it was his character that truly defined him. Confident, gentle, and deeply loyal, Dan earned a reputation as someone you could count on. At first, acting was never the plan. Football seemed like his path, and he was good enough to earn scholarships. But fate intervened when a college play needed someone strong enough to move heavy props. Dan stepped in, took a small role, and discovered something that changed his life forever. The feeling of being seen on stage, the connection with the audience, it grabbed him completely. He changed his focus to theater and never looked back. Then came the war. Drafted into the U.S. Army during the Korean War, Dan served on the front lines for months under brutal conditions. He showed extraordinary courage, even holding his position for hours under heavy fire to protect others. The experience changed him deeply. Though he rarely spoke about it, those who served with him remembered a natural leader with a thick voice, a bigger heart, and a fierce sense of responsibility for his men. After returning home, Dan built a quiet life. He married, earned a master's degree, taught school, and focused on providing for his growing family. Acting came later, almost by accident, when television auditions offered extra income. Westerns were booming, and his size made him impossible to ignore. Small roles turned into steady work until one role changed everything. When he was cast as Hos Cartwright on Bonanza, Dan created something timeless. Hos was gentle, awkward, kind, and emotionally honest, a towering man with a childlike heart. Viewers did not just watch Hos, they trusted him. What made it special was that Dan himself was nothing like the simple ranch hand he played. He was educated, thoughtful, politically progressive, and deeply committed to kindness. Yet that compassion flowed straight into Hos, making the character feel real. Fame never sat comfortably with Dan Blocker. He hated attention, valued privacy, and worried about what celebrity life did to his children. While Bonanza became one of the biggest shows in television history, Dan chose a different path. He moved his family to Switzerland, not for money or taxes, but for peace. There, he could walk the streets as a normal man, free from crowds and expectations. For him, anonymity was priceless. Then came the ending no one expected. In 1972, Dan returned to the United States for what should have been a routine surgery. Everything seemed fine until hours later when a blood clot took his life without warning. He was just 43 years old. The loss shattered his family, his castmates, and millions of fans who had come to see him as something solid and permanent. After his death, his wife chose silence over spectacle. She protected their children, preserved his dignity, and stepped away from the spotlight entirely. It was a final act that reflected the life they had lived together, quiet, principled, and focused on what truly mattered. Dan Blocker was more than a television star. He was a symbol of decency, strength tempered by kindness, and a reminder that gentleness can be powerful. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you never miss the legends that shaped Hollywood history.